Note to Self, a novel by Thuyen Nguyen, available at Amazon.com. Chapter 1. Hello. You don't know me, but I believe I have some information that you might be interested in. You see, all the awkward, embarrassing, uncomfortable, and clumsy moments in my life weren't in vain. I can share them all with you. You can learn from them and not repeat my mistakes. You want to know why I, and quite possibly you, can't understand the female half of our species? I don't have all the answers, but I can share my experience. Imagine my stories as a glimpse of the future. It's like having the answers to tomorrow's exam, but passing this test will give you something more important than a school grade. My name is Tim Newman. I'm 22 years old. I live in Melbourne City. I work at a major department store as a sales assistant. I sell bedding products. I think I'm losing my hair. I have a university degree under my belt. I own a late 1980s sports sedan. I share a house with a friend. That description sound familiar? Of course it does. I've just described every young male adult in the city. Questions of stereotypes and individuality aside, this actually helps me to get my message across to you. You see, you and I are the same. We may not look alike, we may not sound alike, and we may not share any cultural connections, but we do have one thing in common, a pathetic track record with women. Let me share a statistic with you. Here's the complete list of common life experiences that all men share, which isn't necessarily in order. First crush with girl. First physical contact with girl, outside sport and or teasing. First eye contact with girl, not accidental. First kiss with girl. First date with girl. First time with girl, you know what I mean. First rejection by girl. Complete and utter love and commitment to girl. Buying first car. Death. You'll note that 8 of the items on the list relate to women. You'll also note that these 8 items will pretty much define you for the rest of your life. I mean, cars come and go, especially if you're prone to crashes, and death, well, death does define you in a way, but at least you won't be around to know how, eh? But women take up 80% of your life experience. And you know what? Most of these experiences are complete write-offs. Reasons why? Saying the wrong thing, being too eager, not giving her enough space, giving her too much space. The list goes on and on. Look at it like this. How would you tackle life experience number 9? How would you go about buying a car? Easy. You do some research, you compare prices, you search car yards, you ask your dad for help, etc. Can you apply the same process to life experience number 1 through number 8? Absolutely not. And that's why I'm writing to you. If you've read this far, I'm assuming that you're interested in what I have to say. Why wouldn't you be? What I offer you could change your life for the better. Let's face it, our lives revolve around girls. We like them too much, and yet we don't put any real effort into interacting with them, let alone understanding them. Call it male pride or whatever, but the only times we men talk to each other about this sensitive subject is when we're gloating about the good time we had last night, or the good time we should have had last night. Have you ever asked your guy friends for advice with regards to the fairer sex? No, because you'd be the butt of the locker room's jokes. You don't want to be publicly shamed because you don't know the finer points of making the first move, do you? That's the reason why I'm writing to you, instead of talking face to face. If we were in the same room, the debate would most likely be reduced to a sniggerfest by now. The thing is, as much as the other guys will laugh and joke, we all share the same life experiences. Because men don't talk to each other, we all subsequently end up making the same mistakes. If only we could share our problems. If only we could pool our resources. If only we could come up with a definitive, and therefore rejection-free, course of action. My friend, that time is now. You and I will begin a revolution. And unlike other revolutions, you'll be alive to reap the rewards. And all you have to do is continue reading. Learn from my experience. Steal it if necessary. I want you to do all the things I wished I did. Hindsight is a blessing, but it's bloody inconvenient. Why should you have to wait 2 days after the conversation before you think of that killer one-liner? It's too late then. She's long gone, and you're left lying in your bed at 2 o'clock in the morning with nothing but a sentence. And as much as you'd like to think otherwise, the English language isn't a particularly warm bedfellow. All that is going to change. But as I wrote before, I don't know the answers. That part I leave up to you. I can only offer you my mistakes. Logically, if what I did was wrong, then doing the opposite would be right. That bodes well for you, but don't forget, girls are a complex bunch. They can chew you up and spit you out if you're not careful. If you understand them, though, there will be less chewing and less spitting. That is, if you're into that sort of thing. Jokes aside, girls are a big part of our lives, whether we like it or not. But what with doing homework and sitting exams, flipping burgers and packing shelves, moving out and moving back in, fights with your father and collecting laundry from your mother, frankly, we're too busy to keep up with all the latest developments. We don't get the chance to sit down, sift through all the news from the front line, and think things through to their respective conclusions. This is where I come in. I've been doing the thinking for you.